Defense Headquarters has confirmed the emergence of a new terrorist group in the northwest, although the military has described the Lakurawa's group as new. Residents of the affected communities say it has been around for 6 years now. Our ICE correspondent Suleiman Nasir has more.
In November 2018, residents of communities in Tangaza and Gudu local government areas of Sokoto State raised the alarm over the presence of strange terror groups in their communities. Residents of the two local government areas had alleged that the terror group, who they said came from Mali, were flogging residents, placing levies and taxes, as well as going preaching to the members of the communities. But the then caretaker chairman of Tangaza Local Council, Maidan Mayari, dismissed the allegation while admitting that some persons arrived at local council from the Niger Republic and have helped in pushing back bandits operating in the area. Sokoto State Deputy Governor Idris Mohammed Gobir has expressed concern over the re-emergence of the strange terror group operating in 5 local government areas of the state. He said the terror group are in possession of sophisticated weapons and their presence has escalated the security situation in the state.
Unwholesome activities of bandits affecting some local government areas of the state. And in the midst of that, we are now facing another threat from Lakurawas, whose criminal activities were observed in about 5 local government areas of the state. The group is known to be a faith-based idealist. An assessment carried out indicates that they possess sophisticated weapons, as the threat seems to be expanding. The security authorities are working assiduously to address the emergent threat.
Terror group is reportedly affiliated with jihad factions in Mali and Niger, raising security concerns in the northwestern region of the country. The emergence of the group is linked to political instability in Mali and Niger, which has fueled the spread of extremist elements into Nigeria.
My men, members of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, to put in our best within the context of our mandate, so that we synergize with other security agencies to combat the security menace. This incident that the Deputy Governor has raised, we have already picked it up from our intelligence report, and we are already doing something about it. We are deploying personnel, both undercover as well as uniform personnel, and we are also synergizing with other sister agencies to make sure that we arrest this ugly situation before it turns into something else.
The security situation in the northwest is becoming more complicated. The fear of residents is a possible collaboration between the bandits operating in the region with this faith-based terrorist group. Suleiman Nasir, Arise News.
Right, joining us now is retired Major General Rogers Nicolas, the former theater commander at Operation Lafia Dole, the code name for the Army's operation against Boko Haram. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, first off, I mean, what do you make of this revelation from the military authorities that these Lakurawas have been around for about 6 years, but they're just letting us know? And secondly, how do you ensure that this does not become another Boko Haram?
Well, thank you very much. It's shocking to hear that a terrorist group has been operating in our country for over 6 years and nobody is measuring about it. First, what is the local governments? 5 local governments are affected. What are the local government chairmen doing? The local government at their own level have their own little security outfits. Vigilantes, hunters, they are supposed to gather information, and their own local intelligence, including the traditional rulers in this area. What have they been doing? So these are the issues we talk about security in this country. People just take it with pinch of salt and thinking that everything boils down to the military. The military will only come to play a role when these things are properly established and will have a good intelligence to carry out operations. So the local government authorities in these places should be held accountable for what has happened, for delaying the information on these things. And then the traditional rulers within the same area should have been held responsible also. I agree that there are police and civil defense in these areas, but what they can do is limited. We know how many of them can be in the local government area and things like that. But the locals have a major role to play in these issues. These are just the situations. You know, there are hunters, vigilantes all over these places. When you go and see them, but what are they doing? Who is passing information, bulk information down to the authorities for us to actually use it and plan our operations?
But again, you know, let's exonerate them for a bit and talk about the authorities. And in this case, we have other security outfits. Time was when we were told, except we were told a lie, that, well, the DSS, well, can actually, you have one or a couple of them in almost every local government. So you live among the locals, you live on the ground to be able to come and gather, you know, intelligence. So for 6 years, how difficult is it for us to uncover a group that has held sway in more than 4 local governments, and we're just getting to know about this for this?
Well, you know, that's why I said I'm surprised, because the national security outfit, led by under the NHS office, for instance, the IG of police, should have been able to gather the information long ago. It's disappointing to know that these things happened over 4 or 5 years ago and nobody cared about it, nobody reported it. You understand? So it's part of failure of governance across board. You know, failure of intelligence, so to say, across board. Because we know the threats from the northwest area, we know the Sahel in the northwest. Yeah. So it's a challenge where we should put our eyes open on these places to see what is happening. How about the border management, the immigration? How come these people are floating over the borders and nobody is checking them? How come they are passing? So people have to be held accountable for when things go wrong like this, not just washing it away and say military take action. What action do you want the military to take? So
who will be held accountable? I mean, and when you say that the local leaders, at the local government level, you know, should take some level of responsibility, how much really can they do?
You see,
how do you encourage them to?
When things has to do with national security,
yeah,
it is everybody's responsibility. So if at that local government level, the local government authorities are not responding to what they are supposed to do, somebody has to be held accountable for it. Within this local government area, they all have their own security network. I know. I've also operated at a unit level where the commanding officer is part of the security council of the local government area. So they have that outfit. So somebody must be held responsible for not getting information as early as possible.
You know, according to Edward Buba, the military spokesman, he said, look, these people actually initially believed that this terrorists, you know, had good intentions for them until things got out of hand, until they started carrying out all kinds of nefarious, you know, activities.
It means
how do you get the people to recognize, you know, the no do-gooders in the community?
You see, the intelligence circle has a lot to do by carrying out strategic analysis of information they are getting. You watch somebody over the years, you should be able to know his intention. What is his mission? Because he's giving people, he's maybe preaching and giving people some little logistics, does not mean that he has a good intention. That's how Boko Haram started. That's how Ezazaki started. This one in Kano, that we had Metasine. That's how they started. You know, good intention, and people will now fall on it. And then when they bring out their own larger hidden agendas, it will surprise everybody. So it is a failure of intelligence at that strategic level that has caused this problem, because they should have known and done good analysis of this to bring out information so they can pass it to the other agencies that can tackle it.
You know, General Nicolas, you actually started off by letting us know how wide, you know, how far-reaching this is. You spoke about border security.
Yes.
You spoke about the police. You spoke about the NSCDC. So let's call this. Is it okay for us to say it's a total failure of intelligence, irrespective of these organizations and bodies? Because now, again, let's assuming without considering that the locals were part of this group, shouldn't those agencies be able to keep watch over the dirty nature of this group until this is blown open?
Believe you, Suleiman, I think anybody being reasonable will know that there's a total failure of intelligence on this place. That is just the truth about it. It's just nothing but total failure of intelligence.
So how do you strengthen intel? How do you strengthen intelligence gathering? How do you get these communities to cooperate with, the security agencies in a way that they can provide information?
The local, the intelligence circle staffs within the local government area are supposed to have a strategic connection with the locals. Okay? Traditional rulers, so that you discuss with them, have time out with them, gather information, go to the marketplaces, go to the border point, crossing point, see what is happening. Then from there, you start developing the intelligence. You develop it from information to intelligence. You analyze it and come out with proper intelligence so that military and other agencies can really act. But for this is happened over 5-6 years, and now it's coming out now. This Boko Haram started, and they were joking with it.
That's your area of forte, because I recall you've spoken many years ago talking to locals on how they can volunteer information, how they can work with security agencies. What more can you tell the locals watching today to be part of such a big national duty?
You see, the thing about is people believing in your country.
Yeah.
People, the locals, believing that this is our country. First, you must make them believe that this is our country. And then the country has responsibility for them. In some of these places you go, there's no water.
Right.
But no water for them to have to do anything. So how do you want them to be loyal to you?
That's the point.
So you must develop a system of grooming people to be loyal to the system. That's one. You understand? Then these borders, for long we've had a lot of program about buying drones to using technology to watch our borders. I don't know how far we've gone with that. I know during the last regime, a lot of money was budgeted for that. We don't know what happened, but I think this is now for people to check and know what happened to those money budgeted for those things.
Well, it's a good place to leave it. Major General Rogers Nicolas.
But I want to say something before we go, because it's going to boil down to the military.
Great.
Now, for me, my advice for the military is to set up a theater command in Northwest. I think it's long overdue. Now that we're having another emerging threat, it's for the Army Headquarters or Defense Headquarters to set up another theater command there to get the troops to support that operation. I said it last time I was here that there are so many troops in the north, southwest, and south and southeast who are doing so many dirty professional jobs on the roadblocks. Mop up some of those roadblock soldiers and then move them to this center and set up a theater that can now use to do this operation. Then thereafter you can do a sweeping operation with them. We also need to talk to our neighbors, our neighboring countries, Niger Republic, Mali, Benin Republic. We know, even though we had issues with them, but it can be resolved.
Of course, the multinational
joint
task
so we need
force
to engage all these countries
there.
to be able to do something so that we can block all these entries to our country.
Thank you very much, sir. Major General Rogers Nicolas, retired, joining us on Newsnight tonight.